All right, welcome. So, BMW is going all in on its next wave of electric cars, and the vehicle leading the charge is this one, the iX3 SUV. Today, we're going to dive deep into all the details and figure out exactly what makes this thing tick. So, if you're even remotely in the market for a premium electric SUV, this is probably the question on your mind. Is the new BMW iX3 a real game changer, or is it just a lot of hype? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. Okay, first things first, let's meet the car itself. The iX3 is a huge deal for BMW. It's a cornerstone of their whole Neue Klasse, or New Class, electric strategy. Think of it as their premium, mid-size, all-wheel drive SUV designed to go head-to-head with the biggest names in the EV world. And believe me, the competition is tough. It's squaring off against the Tesla Model Y, which, has that massive charging network and all its tech. And then there's the Audi Q6 e-tron, which is really focused on its cutting-edge platform. So what's the iX3's secret weapon? Well, BMW is betting it can win you over with incredible range and that classic, fun-to-drive BMW feel. So let's make the case for the iX3. What are the big selling points? Let's break down the key strengths that might just make you want to put one of these in your garage. First up, the headline number, the one everyone's talking about. An official range of up to 500 miles on a single charge. I mean, wow. That's a class-leading figure, and it's aimed squarely at picking that range anxiety to the curb, especially for those long road trips. Now, it's really important to understand that this 500-mile number comes from the official WLTP standard. You can think of it like a lab test, right? It's done in perfect, ideal conditions, which makes it great for comparing cars side by side. But as we'll see in a bit, what that means for your actual day-to-day driving can be a little different. Next up, charging speed. This is a big one. The iX3 is built on something called an 800-volt architecture. That sounds super technical, I know, but all it really means is that it can charge incredibly fast. If, and it's a big if, you can find a powerful 400 kilowatt DC charger, you can add about 200 miles of range in just 10 minutes. That's basically the time it takes to grab a coffee. For road trips, that's a total game changer. Of course, it wouldn't be a BMW if it didn't drive like one, right? And from everything we're hearing, the iX3 totally delivers. People who've driven it just rave about its perfect mix of a smooth, comfortable ride and that sharp, fun-to-drive handling. It feels nimble, it hides its heavy battery weight really well, and the steering is precise. It's definitely shaping up to be one of the best driving electric SUVs out there. And that quality feel carries over to the inside, too. It's really spacious, has that premium BMW feel you'd expect, and a huge amount of trunk space. So yeah, it's a fantastic choice for families and, all the stuff that comes with them. And this thing is quick. The all-wheel drive 50X drive model is packing around 463 horsepower. What does that mean? It means a 0 to 62 mile per hour time of just about 4.9 seconds. That's seriously fast, like sports sedan fast, and more than enough power to make merging onto the highway a breeze. Okay, so that's the good news. It sounds pretty compelling, right? But hey, to make a smart decision, we need to do a little reality check. So let's flip the coin and look at the potential downsides you should be thinking about. Remember this number? That incredible, attention-grabbing 500-mile official range? It's the big headline, the number that gets everyone excited. Well, here's the reality. Once you get it on the highway, doing normal highway speeds, that number comes down. You're looking at something closer to 315 miles. Now look, to be fair, 315 miles is still a really strong, very usable range, better than a lot of its rivals. But it is a huge drop from that official number, and it's something every single buyer needs to be aware of. And what about that super fast charging we talked about? Well, here's the catch. Those 400 kilowatt chargers are still pretty rare. So whether you can actually use that amazing speed really just depends on the charging network where you live. And when it comes to charging at home, a full battery on a typical 7 kilowatt wall charger could take you around 17 hours. Then we have to talk about the price. This is a premium BMW, and it's got a premium price tag to match. When you start comparing it to something like the Tesla Model Y, which can often be cheaper and gets you access to that huge supercharger network, the value question gets a little tricky. And finally, the technology inside. Look, it's definitely advanced and packed with features, but for some drivers, relying almost entirely on a touchscreen for everything can feel a little overwhelming. If you're someone who just loves the simple feel of a real physical button, this very digital cockpit might actually be a source of frustration. So, we've looked at the good and we've looked at the not so good. It's time for the final verdict. Let's pull all of this together and help you figure out if the iX3 is actually the right car for you. So, who should buy this car? Well, the iX3 is probably perfect for you if your number one priority is a premium electric SUV with a genuinely long range. It's for people who appreciate a comfortable, refined ride that also feels sporty and fun to drive. You probably need the space and practicality for a family, and, this is a big one, you have good access to high-speed public chargers. On the other hand, you might want to pump the brakes if you're on a stricter budget, because there are rivals that offer a bit more bang for your buck. If the charging network in your area isn't great yet, you're not going to get to enjoy that super fast charging. And if you're someone who hates fiddling with touchscreens, the tech-heavy interior might drive you nuts. Plus, there's always the concern about how quickly these cars lose value in a market that is changing so fast. And that really brings us to our final thought. The iX3 is, without a doubt, one of the most capable and impressive premium EVs coming to market. But it also raises a much bigger question for anyone looking to go electric right now. In a market that's evolving this quickly, is any EV a truly future-proof investment? It's a tough one, and it's definitely something worth thinking about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.